gonna be interesting.
Cool.
So, Thomas, just as a catch up, I mean for everybody else, because I just went live. I feel like she is not going to win. She's not going to win, and I'm gonna tell you why. Just,
And I'm gonna throw in what I
I
think
mean,
if I
some of
agree.
the
Yeah.
some of the landscape is kind of what I expected. Like there's this one I guess he's a Bible teacher. I'll say it that way. Online on YouTube or
Mm,
whatever. Pretty popular. Of course, they go towards the some of the Democratic stance and where they at. The attack on her being DA is still that narrative is still being pushed. Um, so what really messed me up, John Hope Bryant, right?
Yeah.
Operation Hope. So he posted a picture of her, him and her, like standing. Either I don't know when it was, but I'm sure he's been pretty high figure. It could have been any time from her being the senator to the vice president. It could have been any time. But he
right.
was, saying get behind, support, blah 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 blah. The usual. So of course, in my researching moment, I said, let's go see the comments. Let's see how his folks that follow him feel about her. And I will say, based on the scroll, like, you could pretty much see, like, I don't like from the jump, even if they write a paragraph, like, okay, you don't like a, like, so I was doing a quick scroll. And he probably had like 200 something comments, and probably more now, of course, because it's a hot post. Um, I'll say 1 out of 5 was, and given the one is probably generous, was I'm so excited for her running. The rest, the rest were I'm just gonna vote for Trump. That's my perspective that I've seen
I
so
get.
far. What's up,
So
Jeff? Good morning, Mama Tori, Lisa.
this is my thing. Where we are charged, we can control the narrative, right?
Okay.
On the news this morning,
What's up, King?
breaking news was the Obamas endorsed Kamala, right? They endorsed her, right? Is that good? Is that good stuff? That good news? It's good. It's good to hear, right? Right? We all can agree that's good to hear. Wait. Let me,
no, okay.
Right. So the anchor goes on. The anchor starts off here. The Obamas has officially endorsed Kamala Harris, right, as for president.
Right.
And then he continues. He feels the need to say this part. The Obamas did not immediately endorse her.
Right.
What is the relevance? What is the relevance? If they endorse her, the second that Biden pushed this endorsement, or a week later, what's the relevance? Why do we? And then you ready for this? Of course, the anchor was a brother. So you have the opportunity to control the narrative. Like what you're doing is you're swaying people's thoughts. Like, oh, well, they didn't immediately do it. Now I'm not even focused on the endorsement. I'm focused on that. Oh, if they didn't immediately do it, why should I immediately jump on board with her? So it's like we have opportunities to control narratives, and that was the opportunity for them to be like, oh, they put that on the teleprompter. They want me to say this, but I ain't gonna say it, or just don't say it at all, right?
Right.
So, but
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry.
No, I'm done. I was gonna
no red cap here.
No red cap, right?
So hopping in and just hearing what you had to say, AD. There's a couple thoughts that go behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number one, yes, John Hope Bryant is an influencer, but his people are capitalists, and his people are looking at the capitalistic side of it.
Okay.
Right?
Good.
You can't just take what he's saying and what his people say and be like, oh, well, there it is.
Yeah.
Roland Martin, which if you look at the flip side of it, raised over $1 million for Kamala in a day.
Right.
By 17,000 men donating.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about that, and it's not, I'm not going one way or the other, because I also want to just point out Kamala Harris hasn't even got the nomination yet. So we can't even start endorsing, a candidate that hasn't even been nominated. Yeah, does it look like she's probably going to be the nominee? Yeah, but The reality is,
Rod? Good morning.
We gotta slow down sometimes. Obama's didn't formally nominate them. How do you know Michelle wasn't thinking about running? You don't know that. You don't know if Michelle was like, maybe I might throw my hat in here and well, okay. Well, you know what? Matter of fact, we ain't going through all that madness again. Let's just go ahead and endorse it. How do you know
said
that
that
didn't
several
happen?
times, but
Right?
you're right. I could say
And
it on
so
TV. You're right.
there's so
Right.
many different perspectives that come into this, and we get caught up in rhetoric. We get caught up in, black woman this, Democrat, Republican,
Right.
and there's this is going to be an important voting time. But as I said, you got Trump who's running. You already know what he's about. We
Right.
are, they're putting all the stuff in the support out there, the Project 2025 and everything else.
Right.
And then also that's true, Rod.
Okay.
And then
All right, Larry, appreciate you,
Kamala,
man.
she has her mess also. Everybody has their mess. We gotta do something about this. This country is we're just following it like it's one big reality TV show.
Oh yeah, it is. Unfortunately, yeah, it feels like it. Oh man. What's up, Kaneem? Good morning.
Kaneem, spin that
Yeah.
wheel.
What up, my dudes? How
What's
y'all
up?
feeling, man?
Good. All is well. I don't have the wheel
AD
today.
needs his spirits lifted because he was just like,
I'm down,
well,
brother. I'm down. I feel like we done. I mean, and she has raised more than I guess a lot of campaigns in the shortest amount of time ever. It seems like I'm guessing this is like historical moment. So I don't know. We'll see. It's I'm my side of the algorithm.
so I'm not really into politics a lot, but if I recall correctly, Hillary won the popular vote, right?
She did.
If I recall correctly, that I could look it up.
Yeah, I think, but I think someone said no Republican has, I think, won the popular vote in probably a long time. Yeah, I don't.
And to me, that's even.
But then I don't. Okay, so
let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Let me just
you go
think
first.
about real quick. Go ahead,
Yeah.
AD. This is your show. I'll be right back. I remember what I got to talk about.
I would. So when it comes to the popular vote, my only pushback is, I guess, I don't know, the way I look at it, like the populations of states and where people live. I think about, I don't know. I mean, individual thoughts. I could be in a room full of one party and have my own independent thought. Because when you get in the voting booth, nobody sees what you're voting. I could talk all this junk right here and go right in the booth and vote for Trump, and y'all wouldn't know the difference. And so I think about populations like New York and Los Angeles, some of the highest population. Even Atlanta, is a high populated area. So I think the concentration of popular votes is probably why I'm still like on the fence with the Electoral College. Like I ain't really ready to throw it away, because
you're talking about a national vote, though. I mean, you're not talking about local stuff. So if the national vote says this is the voice of our people, and the federal level, we all count.
But do you feel like the unpopulated states don't get represented properly?
But it doesn't matter about the state. It matters about the people. Let's hypothetically say we have 100 million people. We know there's more.
Right.
And 100 million people, and out of that 100 million, 51% voted for this candidate and 49% voted for this candidate. It doesn't matter what state you're in. Everybody's counted the same.
But okay, let me throw this out there though. But wouldn't I, as a president, let's just go to the highest office, president. Well, because that's the only one that votes for everybody.
That's the only one, right?
President. I'm going to create policies that serve these populated areas more than the ones that have smaller populations. Like I'm going, because cities and rural areas in essence, sometimes desire different policies, procedures, things to happen, if that makes sense. So I'm going to create policies that will favor the popular spaces as opposed to it's only 10,000 of y'all like, in this area,
but
it
doesn't even so the reality of what you just said right now, AD, does not happen anyways. It's still a jacked up system for people who are in those situations. It's not as if it trickles down to them at this
point.
At least in this sense, their voice is counted and heard specifically versus through this delegate. And so so I think that when you start looking at the electoral college process, all right, so let's say it's not, that's not a perfect system. Let's go to where you're at. The voice of the people or the national vote is not a perfect system either. There is something that can be changed here. And, what I was going to say is, I've been thinking about certain things, little things all week about what needs to be changed. We have these rules and everything else that fit for years ago. And I'll give you an example of one of the things I thought about. How come people can't ride their bicycles on sidewalks? Ain't nobody out there walking that much no more. But people are getting hit in the streets on their bicycles at a high level.
Yeah.
Right? How come you can't split sidewalks, or this side of the street you can walk on sidewalk, this side of the street you can't. You can, it's a bicycle lane or whatever.
Right.
There's things that need to be adjusted and addressed. And electoral college to me is one of those places that the will of the people is not truly done. Even though the will of the people can vote for their person, their president, if they can't get this electoral college process right, then it doesn't matter the will of the people. What matters is, can we get the certain strong states to vote for them?
Right.
And therefore, I'm going to campaign more in those states that have more power over this electoral college, because if we can get those swing states, we can win this vote and we can become president. And so, I think it's important that we look at that process. But bottom line is, you can have the popular vote, is what I'm saying. Kamala looks like she's a very popular candidate, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's going to win.
Right. Absolutely. He said, question, don't the states with the highest population get the most? Yes, they do. But like I said, the electoral allows a lot of voice. The fact that we have split with state delegates, we have the split with state delegates, shows it's not a true national vote. National vote will be the popular one. I think it shows that we're really not the United States of America. Absolutely.
Well, you also got to think about the electoral. I don't know how it's just like, again, I'm not in politics and all that.
Right.
When we think about this electoral college, the founding fathers, whenever something starts with the founding fathers,
right.
And the crazy thing is, we think that the founding fathers had the insight to what was going to happen today.
Right.
And we lean on the founding fathers, but the founding fathers, we know what kind of mindset they had. They didn't have the mindset of blacks being human. They didn't have the mindset of a true melting pot.
Right.
They didn't have the mindset of these other mindsets going on.
Yeah.
So whenever you start something with the founding fathers, you're saying, all the people who were founding this country minus these groups of people.
Right.
So you have to really adjust for that also. We have to adjust our mindset. And let's just be honest, how many people do you think looked at Kamala Harris as a black woman and immediately said something derogatory about her because it's a black woman?
Okay, right.
And I'm pretty sure there's a large part of our population in America that went that route just because she's a black woman.
Yeah.
And, I could get really into that black woman thing as far as how people feel about black women. Right. It's there's so much that they have to overcome and climb. Now I know that Kamala plays whatever side she needs to play to get the vote. So she's a mixed woman, so she can say, I'm this over here. But she needs that AKA all day, I'm black, it's
Line 9. Oh, line 9.
So anyways, it's a whole other conversation. Go ahead.
Vote on policies and whatever candidate fits the most policies win. Yeah. I think AD mentioned that before. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely about policies. We could I also also would like to do rank choice voting. We've talked about that before.
What you said rank
choice voting. So basically,
okay.
You like say there's more candidates running that are not as popular, but who are like, hey, let's give Kaneen a shot. Give him a shot at trying to run for president. He's been out there. He's going viral. He's been up there. He jumped on Trump. Everybody knows who Kaneem is. Let's see if he could win the nomination. And you vote for him. And if he doesn't reach, so I vote for him. It's like usually 3 or something. Like I'll vote for him. Then my next vote goes to Kamala. So if he doesn't reach a certain threshold, my vote automatically goes to my second choice. So your vote is never wasted. So is she playing it, or does she really fit all those? Right. What's up, Jay?
Well, she does.
Good morning.
I'm half Korean, half black, but I ain't never hollered out, hey, I'm Korean. It's to me, that's playing it when you do that. When you know you're half of something, you only call out just one side of your half, or that benefits you. That's playing it.
Right. Absolutely.
She fits it and she plays it.
Absolutely. So yeah. Ranked choice vote would be good. They think they're doing it in Seattle, so I don't know how well it's doing yet. If they does it work? It doesn't work. To me, in my mind, it works. That doesn't mean it works in reality. Kaneem, you've been quiet, brother. All is well. You had a story to tell. I know we probably missed it, and you may have forgotten it. You said you had a story to share yesterday. I'm just trying to jog your memory while I'm talking. You said, I don't know, you didn't even start, so I can't even give reference to what it was about.
You're on mute.
Oh, you're on mute. I don't think I muted you, brother. You muted yourself. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I said, don't give me the line to you, man. I'm slow. I'm dragging this morning, so.
Oh, you sound like it, brother. You all right? It's a little rough morning.
Yeah, I had to take my son. He started. Oh, that's probably what it was. He started his first day on the job yesterday.
All right. What time do we have to get up and get there?
4 a.m. 4 a.m.
Okay. 4. Okay.
Yeah, he gotta be to work at 6. So
okay. I got you.
He working 10 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I got you. It's almost like we working 10 hours a day.
He said 10 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Wow. Yeah, double time on Fridays. I mean, time and a half on Fridays and Saturdays, and double time on Sundays.
Okay.
So he was all happy when he found out what his schedule was, and he was talking to his team leader, and team leader was like, "Oh yeah, for somebody 18 years old, you started out at the perfect time."
Right.
I wish I'd have started out when I was 18 and this, that, and third. He's like, you go to college and you're not guaranteed to get a good paying job. You got to fill out this application, and then you got to be competitive with all these other folks who filled out an application. And, then when you start, you're starting at the bottom because you don't know nothing. All you got is the fundamentals.
Right.
And not only that, you're starting off with a whole bunch of debt because you ain't paid for college when you was there. So he's like, so then he was like, well, we'll see with this one. Look at you. You're 18 years old and you keep working this schedule. You're going to put $1,400 a week in your pocket. I bet you talk to all your other buddies. I bet you they ain't putting $5 a week.
Oh my goodness. That narrative, Kaneem, has been around forever as far as the pushback against college. And it's like, what I hear is, wait a minute, I'm gonna work 70 hours a week for years to put $1,400 in my pocket.
Right.
Like, there's ways. It's like the limitations that people put on other people. Like, you can do this, young buck. You 18 years old. You can do this for 20 years. Who wants to work 70 hours a week for 20 years?
Hey, I put it like this, my brother. I'm pushing him to work 70 hours a week for as long as he physically can do it.
Right.
When he get tired of it, or he get frustrated, or he get like, that's all I do is work. I don't do nothing else but work. Then I'll be like, all right, we'll take the weekend off.
Right. That's a time out.
If that's where, and again, I don't knock people if that's where they're at, but there's other options out there to make $1,400 a week. You don't have to work 70 hours. You know. It's
he's stuck on the money, man. He's trying to get his journeyman card, and he's stuck on it.
Okay.
So he looking at it at the long term. Long term, because the job. Excuse me. The job it's only good till January.
Okay.
So in January, the job be over with. So you know you gotta put your name back. Yeah, you gotta put your name back in the pool to see if you're gonna get picked for the next job. So that's why I was telling, like, that's why you save all your money now, because it might be 2 weeks, might be a month, it might be 2 months before you get another job.
Right.
But if you got that lump sum saved up, you already got your living expenses for however long it take you to get your next assignment. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, but his whole focus is to be a journeyman electrician. So he listening to them other dudes. He's like, oh yeah, they make $88 an hour in California. I was like, but yeah, the price of living is high in California. That's why they make it. That's why they making $88 an hour. I'm saying you can make that same money right here in Georgia and keep a majority of it. And you ain't got to go out there. He talking about what all they do. They do Airbnb when they go out of town for some of their assignments and stuff like that. I'm like, I mean, that's all well and good now, but they are journeymen. You know what I'm saying? Like, they getting paid $75, $80 an hour, and they working 10 hours a day. So if they making $700, $800 a day, they can spend $150 a day on where they stay.
Right.
And if they go ahead and pay for the month and be like, I'm gonna spend $3,000 on staying at this Airbnb for the month, but they're making $12,000. It's a no-brainer when you do the math. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, and I'm like, you're gonna be making all this money, and you ain't gonna be 25. You 18.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You'll be what, 20, 22, 23 when you become a journeyman. I'm like, matter of fact, you'll still be staying with us when you.
Right.
I say you'll still be staying with us.
Right.
And you become an electrician when you get your journeyman card. So you ain't really got a trip. You should have a whole lot of money. We're gonna make sure you straight. We're gonna guide you on the right path. But
so
that's probably what I had to say yesterday.
Yeah, working towards being a journeyman electrician is totally different than just working 70 hours a week doing, whatever he's doing right now.
Right.
Becoming an electrician, by the way, once he gets closer to that space, I know a person that works for one of the top electrician companies in Atlanta. They do big jobs. They build buildings on Georgia State's or do all electricity for like Georgia Tech, different other places, pretty big. And so maybe get them connected there.
Oh, I'll let you know.
Yeah, the electrician thing, that's a totally different thing though. Like, okay, I get that.
No, this ain't just one of them little, this part of his apprenticeship program.
Right.
Okay.
So that's what I thought.
They send you to different job sites and you learn different stages, and they got classroom work that you gotta complete and all that stuff. So, but you earn while you learn. That's what he's so happy about. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's the best part.
Right.
Earning while you're learning. That's
and the cool thing is, he's roughly at $35,000 a year
Right.
just somewhere around there, and he's staying at home.
Right.
And so that's some good dough right there.
Absolutely.
Well, actually, he weighed more than that, but I feel your point.
Way more than that. Then I was thinking 1,400 a week.
Yeah, I mean that's almost $5,000 in 1 month. It's 12 months in the year. You know what I'm saying? But,
right.
Well,
but for somebody his age, even if it was $35,000 a year, he ain't never seen $500 a year. So,
I was looking at the 6 months that he's going to be in this job. Now, if he goes to the next job and he works for a year straight, that's about $70,000 a year. So,
yeah. I ain't no telling, man.
Yeah,
he just getting started, so ain't no telling. But you're supposed to have pay increases as you get different levels. So his pay start out at I think $16 an hour, and then his next pay raise he'll be at I think $22.50, and then it go to 20, 29, and it's a few different stages, something like that.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
That's good.
Yes, good stuff.
So your shirt says educated, motivated, elevated, and melanated.
Oh yeah, well you got some good eyes, man.
Right.
Yeah,
I gotta make my screen bigger.
That was
earlier what your shirt says. So
that's it, brother. That's it.
That's hilarious.
Nice.
Let's see. Rod says, "Hey, young with all that energy, push that to 15 hours a day." Nah, don't do that.
That's what I told. I said I was working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week when I was at Georgia Power. I mean, it wasn't forever, but when you're doing an outage, when you bring in one of the generating units online, or when you're taking a generating unit offline, you working 12 hours a day for about 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You get that check. You say, oh, 17 grand, 19 grand. I'm like, yeah, you be like, I got to get this.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
let's see. Jeff says, half Jewish. Actually, I claim the Jew side unless my boss is German. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Just trying to, She said, boy, he gets big jumps.
So ask Jeff, who saved who? Did Jeff mom save the dad from the Holocaust, or did Jeff dad save the mom? Who saved who, Jeff?
It's our last show, guys. It's our last show. It's our last show.
Somebody got saved.
Oh man. All right. You know what? I was gonna play the game, but
mom saved daddy.
He said mom saved
Nice. Nice.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. All right. So where we at today, Kadeem? Where we at in Georgia?
Oh man, I'm out here in Sandy Springs, man. I'm in Sandy Springs. Out here I had dropped my son working Alpharetta. And my first appointment in Sandy Springs, but so I've been out here chilling. I did a little paperwork, submitted some invoices, all that good stuff. But my first appointment ain't till 10 o'clock, so I've been out here since about 6:30. I went to racetrack, got me a cup of coffee, and did my little paperwork and put some captions on my photos, and I probably called some folks to have their premiums raised ridiculously because they should have treated me a little nicely when I talked to them. I pencil whooped them.
I ain't heard that in a long time.
Take that.
Look,
Yeah.
come on. If you ain't playing,
you should have offered me a bottle of water when I walked in the lobby. Take that.
Wrong. Yeah, add a little extra to this. Hey, Sam.
What up, sis? What up, sis?
So Sandy Springs
yes, sir.
is an area that exploded in, maybe 10, 12 years ago, right after the crash. You can buy a house in Sandy Springs for, $200,000-$300,000, and immediately equity went up in that house.
Wow,
double 100%, and then some. It was ridiculous watching what happened in Sandy Springs and just how people became equity rich quick.
Wow.
Bro, I had I had an apartment. So when I first got divorced, right, that's why I had moved to in Sandy Springs, and I had a little 1-bedroom apartment, and I was paying like I think it was $750. I was paying $750. Gated community. Ring my phone. Ain't nobody just pop up on you. One of them type of little joints. Yeah. So I'm out here in this area now. 1 bedroom, $2,700. $2,700. I'm like, man, when I got divorced in 2008. Yeah, 2008.
Yep.
So from 2008 to now, it went from $750 to $2,700.
Same spot.
1 bedroom.
Same protections. Same stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy, and that it's everywhere. But there's some areas that just, you got in there,
right?
You got your really nice big house,
right?
Or even condos, like what Keneen's talking about. It's just
Midtown ridiculous. You try to get somewhere in Midtown, you might well you gotta know somebody.
Right.
Unless you upper middle class, you living in Midtown, or you ain't got no transportation, you riding a bicycle. You know how everybody on that on the belt line.
Scooter. That's the scooter thing.
You can't afford no car note because all your money going toward your mortgage or towards your rent. It's ridiculous over there, man.
He said all these companies are buying up the real estate and driving the rent up like crazy.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They had a plan and executed. Those companies, I mean, rents are ridiculous, but everything. When we talk about the inflation, it's ridiculous. Remember when it was cool to get a 3% raise every year? You'd be like, "Oh, I got a 3% raise coming." Ooh. And then now you realize inflation smoked you at 14%.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're still trying to hand out little. That's another thing needs to change. Handing out these little 3% raises when your raise should always be attached to whatever the inflation rate was for the year.
Right.
And it depends on what that 3% at. If you're doing 3% at $16 an hour, then you might be a little upset. You know what I'm saying? You might be a little upset because that's what's that? What's 3 times 16? 48. So you're gonna give me 48 cents. you gonna give me 48 cent raise. You know what I'm saying? Like
I used to listen. I used to have a boss that would add it all together and give you the yearly joint. He said, "That's an extra $1,000 a year."
Oh no, man! I had a boss like that, and he did it to me 2 years in a row. I got 30 cents. I got 30 cents the first year.
Yeah.
And then I got 30 cents the next year. You know what I'm saying? So I might have got what I was supposed to get the first year.
Right.
But now that I'm making more, I know I ain't get what I was supposed to get the second year.
Right.
I say, no, you mean tell me I gotta work here 10 years before I get $3? Is that what you're telling me? I'm saying, nah, I'm thinking it's gonna be $1 every time. I don't care what I'm making. You know what I'm saying? I make 15, I'm making 17 next year. I make it 18 and 8. I'm like, what $1 is that?
Right.
That's the crazy part is that people think that, well, okay, so when the market crashed and everybody was desperate for jobs, it was like, we're going to hold off on raises because we're trying to keep people's jobs and everything else. And then coming out on the backside of that, I think companies realize that, we can do whatever we want to employees sometimes. And there's, people need to work. But that thing that you just talked about, Kaneem, I tell people all the time, listen, if you go to a job and you gain experience, you could take that experience to another job and they'll pay you more for it.
Right.
You'll get an instant raise for that. You just got to realize that you got to get this experience. You got to get the references.
Right.
And people will pay you more for what you know. There's the company that you're at, sometimes is going to be the one that devalues the most, right? It's like, to keep devaluing my work like that. But go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, when I quit that job, I was looking for a job as I got that second raise and looking for another job. And when I started at Georgia Power, a 33% increase, and this was my starting pay, with a promise that I'm gonna get a pay increase every 6 months for the next 5 years.
Nice.
I was like, I said, man, you can't beat that with a stick. Hey, and I stayed at Georgia Power until my doctor said I had to go home.
Right? You can't work it no more.
Hey, I would have been up there with a wheelchair if they would have let me.
Are you gonna be that dude? Just no, I'm fine. I'm
True,
fine.
true. I'd have been up there. I'd have been up there with a hover round, like what's that?
All right, AD, I see you in your hover round.
Yeah, so look, what y'all need? Y'all need some wire strippers. I'll be right back.
You be that dude like, move these boxes out the way. You know I gotta roll through here.
Yeah. I'm about to go get these snips. I'll be right back. I'm going to get these snips.
Right. But Kaneem, you hit what I was gonna say is that they need to stop thinking about raises every year and start looking at every 6 months or quarterly and everything else, and then beginning to look at work performance, longevity, value of the employee, all these other things. There's so many things I think about. Remember, I'm on this kick about what needs to change. Like how many things need to change, and we have the same system of giving raises and everything else since I've been started working. That was 36 years ago.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
So a long time ago.
Long time.
AD was just a little bitty boy at that time.
Yeah.
I was a young
I don't have on his face.
Young buck. But you think about like you're gonna keep the same system of 36. Now I will say things have changed a little bit because these new age kids feel entitled to getting money for doing nothing. And they're not going to work all these extra hours that so they've been able to change some stuff for people,
right?
And I will say that that's one good thing, but then the type of work you get out of them, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I'll say, man, a lot of companies, they doing profit sharing, or they're doing monthly bonuses or quarterly bonuses and stuff like that. That'll at least give your team some incentives to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you want to lead these bonuses and lead these monthly incentives to go somewhere else that you ain't gonna get it.
Right.
If you do the math, it might work out to be the same numbers, but you don't know because you ain't got there. But you know what you got here. But it go back to what you said, Thomas. Sometimes you got to go out there and see if the grass greener. You don't know unless you try. You know what I'm saying? But wherever you at, don't leave no stink. You know what I'm saying? If you need to come back, don't leave no stink now. You know what I'm saying? Leave with a good impression. Don't go out there throwing up both middle fingers on your way out the door. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've done that. It didn't work. It didn't work too well for me. Hey, all you gotta do is ask the Cab County Police. It didn't work for me.
It didn't work well.
Yeah, that part.
That's hilarious.
It's crazy to think about. The idea that I'm moving on, moving up, and I forget about you.
Right.
Yeah, because it takes so much to kick in a door just to get in that position. Why kick the door and then slam it behind you?
Yeah,
you know, I keep that door open. All my doors are open.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Well, except that one. Yeah, except that one for me. Yeah, yeah.
One.
They might got still got my picture. Like, you take a picture for your work badge. They might got my work badge in personnel office.
Don't let this man in this building. Don't let this
they might got my badge in the personnel office. Hey, security. This the one right here. But I ain't got. I don't have the gold teeth no more, so it might look a deal different if I smile. So
I want to know what caused you to go out the door like that.
Oh man, so it was this dude. So I was in the maintenance department for Hormel Foods. I don't know if y'all know about Hormel over there in Tucker, right? So I'm working over there in Tucker, and one of the guys I was covering his area because he had jury duty. So my supervisor was like, "All right, I need you to change these grids out because you're supposed to change them out every 3 hours. So you change them out at 5 a.m. when we first start. Then you do them at 8. Then you do them at 11. Then you know what I'm saying. So and you got to sign off on the sheet. So my supervisor told me to go over there and do it one time. You ain't say all day. You said one time.
Oh gosh.
You know what I'm saying? So
oh gosh.
I went over there and I changed it at 8 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Bam. So at 11 a.m., well, did nobody change it? At 2 p.m., ain't nobody change it. When it's time to go, at 5 p.m., ain't nobody change it. So come next day, he's like, I told you, blah, 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 blah. He had been there like, I don't know, 30-something years. I've been there. I've been there maybe
30 months.
maybe 3.
Right.
And then not to mention, I'm like 20. I think I was 26, 27. I'm like 20. I'm 20 something. Okay. I just bought me a house. I had just bought me a Cadillac, the Ville. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Pause right there. Hold on a second. Listen to what he has and how he's feeling himself at that moment.
Bought me a house, bought me a Cadillac. Hey, I'm all gold teeth. I'm tattoos everywhere. I'm talking like I'm fresh from H-Town. I'm just, my ebonics was at a high level back then. So when he was trying to tell me that, you know what I'm saying, I'm finna get reprimanded, I was like, man, you would take that to somebody else and miss me with that. So he didn't like how I gave him that statement. So he went your response. He went to the personnel office and told the manager, and so we had a big old meeting and whatnot. And so we had the superintendent, the supervisor, the personnel manager, the plant manager, they all in there, and they telling me, you know what I'm saying, they believe in him.
Of course.
Oh, that's not even my area. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do my area and his area. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he told me one time I did what he told me to do. But then he was like, I know what I said. So they took his word over mine. And it was like, they're gonna demote you. And we're gonna put you in, we're gonna take you out of maintenance and put you back into production. So I'm like, hold on, man. I'm making $1,200 a week.
Right.
And you trying to break me down to 400? Wow. I said, man, y'all, I tell you, that ain't gonna work. So I was like, hey, if you, and you. Well, today must be your last day. Didn't I just say if you?
Did you really double down on it? Oh, my bad. You didn't hear me. My bad.
I'm all in the front office. Yelling at everybody. What's going on? F you. What's going on? Somebody call 911. F911. I don't care about none of y'all.
Did you hold on? Did you at least do? Did you do the knock over? Did you knock something over?
Hey! I went to go get my car right, and because they got one of them gates where the guard got to let you out the gate. The guard wouldn't let me out the gate till the police got.
Oh. Oh man.
The girl wouldn't let me out the gate till the police got there. The police got there, it was the same thing. Man, F them, man. I don't care about them. They took it up. Blah, blah. Sir, calm down. We want to hear what you got to say. Man, F them.
Y'all don't miss the tone of his voice also. Okay, so the tone is a part of that because that's a part of how he sounds. But you know, the one
I'm
thing
trying to tell you, I was
what I learned from this is don't mess with Kaneem's money.
Right.
That's what I learned from this.
Right. I was 38 high. Hey, but I tell you, the young and the immaturity of my mindset showed me 90 days later where my faults and my wrongs were coming forward because I had to give my house back.
Right.
I had to give my car back.
Wow. No more.
Hey, I had to change everything. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I went from that. I had to go and stay with a chick who I didn't really like, but I ain't had nowhere to go.
Right. Wow.
It was a whole different scenario. You know what I'm saying? I ended up buying an old car, a '69 custom Ford 500. I'm talking about the seats was all beat up, but that's the only thing I could afford. I paid $800 for it. And I had to use that to get back to work because I wasn't staying on the bus line no more.
Gotcha.
It was a hard day. And I had to reminisce and think back about if you just kept your mouth closed.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you. We always talk about like on the wheel was like if you can go back and talk to yourself, like like say you hit the button, you end up back in time, and you ran into yourself as you were going in, right? And you're like, listen, your supervisor is about to talk to you. I'm gonna need you to respond with respect. I don't care what he says. Respond. Just take my bad. I apologize. And let's move forward. Could you ever see that?
Hey, throwing my hands up and telling him to miss me with that was a mistake. That was the stake in my whole living arrangement. I put the nail in my own collar. Man, miss me with that. That was a wrap. That was a wrap.
So, Kaneem, interesting thing when you say that, like the whole vibe and everything else. The last job I had, I quit and got fired, when back then. It was July 31st, 1994. So literally coming up here on a 30-year anniversary. I mean, 93, 31-year anniversary.
Okay.
Me and my boss got into it because I worked at Piccadilly at the time and I was a cook at Piccadilly. You know Piccadilly, a lot of people might not.
Oh yeah, love Piccadilly. Well, back then I did.
And so it's 8:25 and he comes in here yelling at me about some mashed potatoes. Like, should have mashed potatoes on the line, blah blah. That's like it's 8:25. We close at 8:30.
Right.
And he's going in on me. So I'm like, who do you think you talking to? And next thing you know, we going at it. I quit, he fires me. All this other stuff is going on. Literally, all I had to do is finish that shift, wake up the next morning, go in and do prep cooking that morning, and I was on vacation. I would have been on vacation for a week. Been cool with that.
Oh, and you would got to cool down.
But at the closing time, I take my apron off and I just throw it at him. Like, take this mess. I don't need to put up with this. 2 weeks later, or a week and a half later, I'm out of state selling dope again.
Yeah, like I say, the immaturity.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, the immaturity, man. The
immaturity. The moments.
Yeah, I quit and got fired at the same time because it was like whoever said it first. But I was like, nah, I ain't
you said whoever said it first.
Yeah. It was like, but back then, how you handle stuff matters.
Yes. How you handle stuff. The response. You can miss me with that.
Yeah, man. Like I say, I was real immature back in the day, but as you mature, you get a little wiser, you get a little bit more. Your spirit calms down. You ain't all animated. You know what I'm saying? So
is it that, or do you realize
not in my spirit? Not in my spirit didn't calm down.
Right.
I'm more thought provoking. You know what I'm saying? I'm more measured. I'm more calculated. It's not. I ain't got that wild hair that I got to, be. I got to react without thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The reaction without thinking. Absolutely.
So I have to ask, Kaneem, is it that you're more calculated or you realize you was messing your money up?
I think it was both, man. Because my actions cost me money. When if I would have handled it differently, I probably could have kept a lot more money in my pocket. And my life may have been a lot different if I just wouldn't have been so hot headed. You know what I'm saying? If I would just been a little bit more reserved instead of just popping off for minor issues.
All right. Do you feel like this happened often? Like when you were younger? Like
Back in the day, I mean, but it was also the dudes I was hanging around. You know what I'm saying? So
gas you up.
I was, and it wasn't. I mean, I was alone though. They wasn't with me when I was at work.
Okay. Right.
It was just that was it. It
what
was
you knew how to handle.
It was. I guess it was a training that I was given. You know how your mama trained you to go to the bathroom?
Right. Today is popping off. This is how you pop off if someone says something disrespectful. Right?
It was a training, man.
What up, Reese?
I was practicing bad behavior. That's what it was.
Absolutely.
I hope that Reese doesn't really believe that.
Oh, you know what he does.
What Reese say this time, man?
My fault. He said you too can have more money today. Vote Trump 2024.
Oh Lord, come on, Reese. I know you heard that little soundbite that he was talking about. Y'all want a white president, not a black president. I know y'all heard that little soundbite.
I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, well, hey, go Google it. I know y'all go Google it.
Did he really say that, Reese? Reese, did he really say that? Reese?
I bet you Reese. No, I bet Reese gonna say, "Oh, that's AI. That's AI. That ain't him." All right. Okay, Reese.
We'll look that up. All right. Where did he say that lie? Where did he say that lie? Lies.
Hey, Reese, Google it. Reese, you internet savvy? Go ahead, go on, find it, brother.
All right. All right. Any jokes? We got a joke, Thomas, before we roll up out of here.
Man, I have no jokes today.
No jokes.
I ain't got none either, man.
I ain't got no jokes. You know, I heard someone say that. You know, I was reading this thing on social media, and it said, baby, why don't you post me on social media? And she says, because I only post jokes, and you ain't no joke.
Oh, hey. I wouldn't mind if my old lady said that. But she posts me on social media all the time. So.
Yeah. Put you out there.
So how did,
man, I'm gonna let y'all have it, man.
Hold on, Kaneem. Hold on, at least one. Can I give you one?
Yeah.
I got one.
Go ahead, brother.
How did the barber win the race?
How did the who?
The barber.
Yeah, I feel like he gonna say he took a shortcut, but I don't know.
You're so smart. He knew a shortcut. Good job, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to cut hair back in the day. That's why I was thinking that.
Why? Hold on. One more. Then we're gonna go. Why did the pony ask for a glass of water?
A glass.
You got me on that one, bro.
Because it was a little horse.
I give you that one. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So
I heard a riddle.
Why did the bicycle fall over? Because it was too tired. That's from Rod. That's right to you. All right, go ahead. One more. Then we're gonna roll out here. Go ahead.
I had a riddle that I heard on TV last night, and it was said, "What's always approaching but never gets here."
What's always approaching but never gets here?
The riddle. Riddle me this. What's always approaching but never gets here?
That's good. I don't know.
Tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for
All
being
right,
here.
wait, don't go.
Appreciate you guys rocking. Hanging out with us. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy.
What kind of noise does a witch's broom make? Or a witch's vehicle make? What kind of noise does a witch's vehicle make?
What's that?
Broom, broom. I need to learn for that one.
I don't know about that one. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. And my boss one in the comments. He said tomorrow. Wait, there's more, right? Wait, there's more. All right, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. We look forward to seeing you guys maybe next week, but just watch your messages. So stay tuned. 988. If you or someone you love is having a mental health crisis, make sure you dial 988. Know that we love you. Jesus loves you better. Stay safe. Make good choices. And we will see you next time.
Why
Uh-oh.
do elevator jokes work so much?
Why do elevator jokes work so much?
Because they work on so many levels. See ya.